Hey there! So, you want to know about Aquinas' 5 ways to prove the existence of God, huh? Well, let me tell you, this is one of the most important and enduring aspects of his work. But before we get into the details of his arguments, let's talk about why he and other theologians felt the need to prove the existence of God in the first place. You see, in the Middle Ages, there was a growing interest in reconciling the teachings of Christianity with the new ideas that were circulating. As I mentioned before, scholars were studying the works of ancient philosophers like Aristotle and Plato, and there was also an influx of Islamic philosophy. This led to a desire to harmonize faith and reason, to understand how the teachings of Christianity could be reconciled with the new ideas that were being discovered. This is where Aquinas' 5 ways come in. They are a series of arguments that attempt to prove the existence of God using reason alone. Aquinas believed that it was possible to use human reason to arrive at a knowledge of God, and his 5 ways were his attempt to do so. So, what are these 5 ways? Well, let me break them down for you. 1. The argument from motion. Aquinas argued that everything in the world is in motion, and that this motion must have been caused by something. He believed that there must be a first cause, a being that set everything else in motion, and that this first cause is God. 2. The argument from efficient cause. Aquinas argued that everything in the world has a cause, and that there must be a first cause that caused everything else. He believed that this first cause is God. 3. The argument from possibility and necessity. Aquinas argued that things in the world are either possible or necessary. He believed that there must be a being that is necessary, that is, a being that must exist, and that this being is God. 4. The argument from gradation. Aquinas argued that things in the world are graded, that is, they exist in degrees of perfection. He believed that there must be a being that is perfect, and that this being is God. 5. The argument from design. Aquinas argued that the world appears to be designed, that is, it seems to have a purpose. He believed that there must be a being that designed the world, and that this being is God. Now, it's important to note that Aquinas didn't believe that these arguments were conclusive proofs of the existence of God. Rather, he believed that they were persuasive arguments that could help people arrive at a knowledge of God. He also believed that faith was necessary for a complete understanding of God, and that reason alone could only take us so far. But why bother trying to prove the existence of God at all? Well, for Aquinas and other theologians of his time, it was about understanding the relationship between faith and reason. They believed that faith and reason were complementary, that they worked together to help us arrive at a knowledge of God. By attempting to prove the existence of God using reason, Aquinas was trying to show that faith and reason could be harmonized, that they were not in conflict with one another. In conclusion, Aquinas' 5 ways are a series of arguments that attempt to prove the existence of God using reason alone. They were his attempt to harmonize faith and reason, to show that they could work together to help us arrive at a knowledge of God. While these arguments are not conclusive proofs, they remain an enduring aspect of his work and a testament to his commitment to understanding the relationship between faith and reason.